We're gonna continue. I'm already doing a terrible job of this whole VOD review thing. Okay, 69's in chat if you kind of want me to get past Belden already, but it would still be really funny if I didn't get past Belden for the rest of the day. I still think it would be pretty funny if I didn't get past Belden for the rest of the day. I still think that. I think that's probably the most fair, the most fair one. I'm gonna move this, like... They're gonna move chat, like, over... Speed for the win. I don't know where the fuck to move chat. Entertainment's here for, man. Maybe over my face. And WizRad. I can't put chat here. I can maybe put chat here. I don't know. You can get past Belden and then fail Quark Warp. Maybe right here. Alright, this is position 1. This is position 2. I think one of my this is position 3. This is like 1, 2, or 3. That I get way too obsessed. Okay, looks good here. I'm grinding a category. Like, whenever I'm grinding a category, I just want to fucking go. I never want to stop playing this game. Look, there's a Sneepy here and a Sneepy here. I don't necessarily burn out. There's 2 Sneepies. I've gotten past the point where I burn out on things unless I like actually hit my goal time. So this Felden was fine. It was a 55. Obviously, I didn't really discuss it in depth, but there wasn't really a whole lot to talk about, and there's not really a whole lot to talk about here. Is that oftentimes I like kind of forget the rest. I did get long load on this Florana, but I did get a 1-shot on Quark, so this is technically already like a 120.2. The world exists when I'm in the middle of a grind. Like right now, I just want to grind for the next 4 hours, but I know I can't. Oh, thank you. I feel sad watching Tab because he's not coming back. Yeah, he's not coming back. I think it's about time that we start. Sorry, I missed this one live. No worries, Pharmaco. You're good, dude. You are golden. I appreciate you all the same.
So these bits are for all the LGBT plus people in chat tonight.
Thank you for that, Tyrant. Thank you for supporting the LGBT community. That goes out to all of you, my friends. I am not gay or anything on the LGBT spectrum. However, I consider myself a bit of an ally. At least I try to be. I watch lesbian porn as often as possible. That is... that's my contribution. Like for me, 2015 gang is gonna be where it's at. I'm not really reviewing much of this VOD right now, am I? Let me go back a little bit. Let me go back a little bit. Let me so basically this is where the meat of things begins on Up Game or Skip. So this is all pretty standard.
Fuck, I missed that WR stream, Resident Sleeper.
Yo, you're good, Hadada. It happens, man. It happens. But what matters is we're reviewing it right now. So this is all standard once again. Like, a lot of this run is just going to be, like, me kind of playing the way you see me play in practice. I didn't really mess up a whole lot of stuff. I think people will always view the best community as the one that they were the most connected to, you know? That was a really good whip jump. As you can see, this is actually the part that's the most impressive about this VR. So look at this whip jump. I got a perfect whip jump. Perfect distance, and look, I only glide for like a fraction of a second. You can see, look at my frame advance here. Look at how little I have to glide before I can hit this swing shot target. Wait, so we have 1 frame, 2 frames. Wait, I can't tell the first frame it comes out. 1 frame, 2 frames, 3 frames, 4 frames. 5 frames, 6 frames, 7 frames, 8, 9, 10. So, assuming that YouTube frame rate operates at 30 frames per second, that means that for 1/3 of a second I glided before I could swing shot. Like for me, 2015. That's really fucking slick. Yo, thank you, Tyrant. I appreciate the Anna shout out. But for a lot of other people, that wasn't such a great time. Yo, what's up, Cakelton? How you doing? Fucking how? Lots of practice. What can I say? I've got the timing in my balls these days. We are tied with my best pace ever.
Yeah, so at this point we're already on best pace ever because I just haven't made any mistakes yet. Like, there's been absolutely zero mistakes so far.
You can't ever blame somebody for that. Yo, what's up, Abby?
So Dax...
It do be that way. I hope you're vibing like crazy right now.
Vibing men in chat, but I say vibing mans.
I hope you're vibing even half as much as vibing man is vibing. Guys, can I get some vibing mans in the chat?
That's where I forget that the plural of man is men. So this whole sequence was a little slow. So let me show you. So first off, this was a tiny bit slow, but that glide wasn't very good either. This is fine right here.
Vibing mans in the chat.
This was also fine, I guess, but a little tiny bit slow. That obviously is a little slow as well. And then this part's fine, but by then I've already lost a lot of time from between all those sloppy bits and also long load. Thank you so much for the 100 bits, Tyrant, and the Yoe.
Your webcam is frozen.
My webcam is frozen. Oh, god fucking damn it. Why did this happen? It's okay, guys. I'll fix it. Thank you, Tyrant. I do appreciate it. Hold on. What the fuck? What is happening? Oh my god, dude. This is so fucking stupid. Okay. Can you still hear me? Can you still see me? Well, now you can see me. I assume my mic cut out for a second. I don't know why that happened. I really don't know why any of that just happened. That was very, very strange. Very, very strange. But basically, yeah, like I was saying, we've already kind of lost, like, over a second from all those sloppy mistakes, as well as I think I got long load. So a 52 teleporter is not bad, but it's obviously not ideal. You want a perfect sequence with long load. You should be able to get a high 48, low 49 teleporter. And as you can see here, I got just... yeah, like 52.5. So, not great. But the rest of this is actually really fine.
A little slower than I wanted, but I'll still take it. What's up, Andrew?
And right now I'm thinking, Jesus fucking Christ, dude, if I can just get this fucking Dax proxy one goddamn time today.
Here's hoping. I don't have too high hopes for this right now, but we'll see.
And finally it paid off, but I hadn't practiced this particular setup in a while. I've been practicing a different setup. So you can see here my angle's actually really poor. I should have taken a sharper angle. My angle's really wide there, so I lose like another half, or like another full second there.
I'll take that shit. Not my best stacks by any means, but it's stacks I can fuck with. Sub 410.
Yeah, like
408.
Like I'm okay with it. Like I'm okay with what happened in that Dax, obviously, because right now I'm on a really sick pace. But I think moving forward, I kind of want to clean up that particular area.
This is my third sub 409 ever, I think.
Yo, what's up, TJM? How you doing?
Oh, thank you for subscribing.
Oh, what's good, Warden? Solace.
Yeah, review
Chat
that run.
spams all the...
Oh, we're reviewing the run, alright.
Yeah, well, you know, what can you do? Alright, let's hope we can keep this going past this shit.
So...
has not been our friend today.
I actually don't know why I said that. I had hit Gemini every single time. Or 2 days ago. But... basically, any runner of this game will tell you that it literally doesn't matter what you get past Dax if you can't get past Gemini.
Really, none of these splits have been my friend today.
So, okay, let me explain why this is so dicey. Let me explain what just happened here and why it's so dicey.
None of these splits have been my friend today.
So, on this particular spot, you have to land within a certain range on this, let's just call it a platform. It's not really a platform, but that's the best word for it. There is a platform texture on this spot in this sphere. You want to land like right around here. Like this is just barely too far. Where I am right now is just barely too far as well. Like you can make this position work sometimes, but like half the time you fail. So you want to be landing like right around here. Like this is the sweet spot. And as you can see, I very, very, very carefully micro adjust the angle right at the last possible spot. But you also have to be careful if you're doing this, because if you do it too far over, then you put yourself in the danger zone of like right over here. So I very carefully adjusted myself to land right over there. I get the grounded state, and then I double jump. And now what happens is, in order to insta-clip through, you have to land right around here, or right around here, on basically opposite sides of the middle. And you have to press up right as you land. Like, if you just press up right as you land, your momentum will carry you through the barrier. But, as you can see, look what happens. Hold on, let me see. Pay attention to this. I have a grounded state for, like, a few frames before I clip through. I hit up basically as late as you possibly could and still insta-clip through. Like, if I had hit up just a couple frames later, I would not have clipped through and I would have lost this run. There's so many instances in this run where I almost entirely lose it on any one given spot.
Oh,
so yeah. Look at how, like, Ratchet, it looks like he almost walks forward.
Oh, that was so close to not working.
It's just like by a hair. But I just barely made it.
The timing on that is really specific. And I almost fucked it up.
Yo, thank you, Stu. I do my best to steal world records from that piece of shit. Yeah, no worries, Tyrant. Do what you gotta do, man. Beautiful. And then the 2-frame works just fine. Pollux goes very well. Are you gonna play soon? Okay.
Holy shit.
Rez, I'm not gonna answer your question, but I will ask you to think about this logically, okay? So right now my title reads, reviewing the new Ouya NG Plus world record, then sub 28 grind, triple charge gang. Now, presumably this would mean that the order of events is I'm going to review this VOD, and then I'm gonna play the game. Presumably. Will this reaction be on YouTube? Maybe. I'll think about it. I mean, it would be good for YouTube content. Like, it would be good to put out more YouTube content, but I still have other stuff I can put out as well, so I'll think about it. I'm getting really cozy right now, sipping my water, wearing a blanket.
Hope you're doing well, my friend. Whoa!
I will skip through any load sequences, just because there's really no point in watching these. I can skip the free fall as well.
So I am starting to play a little bit better. It's finally all starting to come together a little bit more, but...
Yeah, right? Look, so at this point, when you're on a sick early game pace, let me tell you about what happens 99% of the time. 99% of the time you're on a sick pace, you think to yourself, holy shit, this fucking pace is so nice. And then Ouya just says no at one point. Like, there's always a spot in Ouya where you'll just randomly lose 15 seconds, and you'll just be like, well, fuck me, I guess. So of course that's in the back of my mind, and I'm thinking at this point, if there's ever spots that it's going to happen on, it's going to be Annihilation Nation, it's going to be the proxy on Metropolis, or on a Hollow Star after Talos. It could easily be Metropolis, or, like, obviously this is quite a bit of a stretch, but set up Whip to Trigger on Command Center. Like, I'm thinking those are the 4 main problem spots that it could happen, but it could also happen if you're not careful and you're not thinking about it, as easily as a Death Abuse here or the proxy on Marcadia. So these are all the spots I'm thinking about, and like, I want you to also consider how many spots I'm not thinking about that are crazy difficult as well. The Koros sequence, Instaclip, Scrunchless, Terror of Talos. Like, these are all spots you could conceivably lose a run quite easily. Marcadia Mission 3, possibly a rare fail on LDF. Like, there's just so many spots to lose a run in this game that are like, if you lose it there, you just have to say, oh, well, you know, sometimes you just lose runs there. Statistically, it's so fucking hard to carry a run as good as this in the early game to completion. Yo, what's up, Tanner? How you doing, man? Remember the chess prodigy you met in college? You know the one. He was a 15-year-old college freshman who always scored too high and ruined your chances of going to med school. Now you can't live out your dream of being a urologist with a focus on butt stuff. Yeah, that child prodigy just had sex. Can you fucking believe it? I'm so glad that Magnus has a fruitful sex life.
You know, as you saw, it's not really the early game that's my problem as much anymore. It's the mid game. But once I get through the mid game, once I start practicing that shit, does Blackwater City annoy you? No, I don't get annoyed by this planet at all.
So this
a lot of runners who do get annoyed by
this mission goes fine overall.
Or not Metropolis, Marcadia. But I actually rather enjoy both of the planets. They're both quite difficult.
Should I leave my audio up in the VOD, or do you guys want me to mute it and put on some music? One's if you want me to leave this audio, two's if you want me to mute the VOD.
I think people look at the lack of movement and assume that these planets must be very easy and very boring, but that's not.
All right, I'll stick with this for now. If we change our minds, then we'll see what happens.
The day Marcadia skip is discovered will be a great day. It'll really only be such a great day because it'll be fast.
Will you accept a run recorder on a phone? Yeah, we would accept that as long as things are visible.
I think the only one I really have an issue with is Mission 4.
So Mission 1 went standard.
Everything else is fine in my
let me show you actually. Let me show you a little Mission 1 thing to pay attention to. Let me show you a little Mission 1 thing. So you want to look at all this is standard: shooting the ships, setting up the rifts, things like that. The way that you know if things are going well, a lot of it depends. I'm not going to call it random, but obviously you don't have much control over when the enemies get sucked into the rift, as long as you just place the rifts in the spots you know you're supposed to. So between that and long load, you can always tell what kind of Mission 1 pace I'm on by the timer over here. I don't know if you can see my mouse. I think now you can. When this... If the timer says 1:15 after you see an enemy over here on the radar... Wait, let me just make sure you guys can actually see my mouse. Oh, you can't see the radar right now. Hold on, let me get rid of my webcam for a second. So let's take a look at the radar. If you're gonna see a little bit of a break right here, a little tiny break, and if an enemy flies into the rift at 1:15 or lower, it's a fine Mission 1. Like, that's fine. If it's 1:16 or higher, that's a bad Mission 1. So you can see right here on this particular run, let's see what the exact frame he gets sucked into the rift. So you can see what I mean. I'm just frame advancing as best I can. So, okay, somehow I missed it.
That's not the case at all.
I'm not going to frame advance it, but just take a look. So you can see right around low 1:15. Yeah. See, look at when he spawns. Is it 1:15? 1:15.1 is when he spawns. That's a fine. That's totally fine. I definitely fuck with that.
The day Marcadia skip is discovered will be a great day. It'll really only be such a great day because it'll be fast.
Welcome back, Tyron.
I still think that Marcadia is a fine planet. Like, I don't have any...
Mission 2, I haven't really worried too much about. Like, these days, I kind of hit it relatively consistently.
Everything else is fine in my book.
I've kind of fixed all the errors that I can make on Mission 2.
Mission 5, that'd be pretty cool too.
Except, here I still am a little slow. So, same idea. Hold on. Let me tell you guys what to look out for here. The way that I know when to jump in, again, the radar is super important right now. This is still a little bit slow. I can go faster here for sure. So, the way it works is that right here at the bottom, like, right where I'm standing, like, parallel to that, you'll see two enemies fly into the rift, one after the other. One enemy flies in, and then literally right as the second one is about to spawn and fly in, that's when you should jump into the water. Because if you time it properly, the mission complete screen will come up just as the guy over here at the far side of the radar will spawn and fly into the rift. The only problem is, let me give you a bit of a warning if you're running this game, you cannot jump too far away from the rift. For whatever reason, rifts only work 1, well, you don't need to be looking at it. Yeah, I was gonna say that's the plasma coil. Rifts only work if they're in close proximity to Ratchet's position. If you jump too far away from the rift, for whatever reason, it just despawns. It just despawns or just doesn't work. I don't know why, but that's a consistent thing in this game. So if you're gonna jump, you have to jump far enough to get out of here, but you have to like kind of stay around here. You know, that's what I do. A little slow, but you know.
Missions 1, 2, and 3 are pretty fun and hard.
A little slower than I want it to be, but still fine for my purposes.
Proxy is quite difficult as well.
I'm not sure if it's Y-axis mad bad. That's a good question. A lot of Y-axis stuff doesn't really matter in this game. For whatever reason. Yo, what's up, Jake? How you doing, dude? Yo, thanks for the good luck on the run radar. And how you doing, Izaki? And this mission 3 was just totally fine. Like, there's absolutely nothing wrong here. The one thing I will say...
Jesus fucking Christ!
Yeah, we get it, Zem. This is a good run. The one thing I will say right here on Mission 3, a lot of newer runners don't know this, and so they end up losing runs to this at some point. For whatever reason, on this specific menu, your inputs get eaten really easily, and I don't know why. So if you have to space when you press down, you can't just like press down twice as fast as possible, otherwise it'll eat your second down input. So you can see right here, I do 2 rather slow down inputs. So like, I'll let you see that menu again. Pay attention to that. You hear bump, bump. Very slow.
Jesus fucking Christ! 47.
But yeah, this run actually like it really should not be understated how fucking crazy this early game is. Like I only made like 1 mistake on Dax. And everything else was fine.
Sick.
And here I'm thinking I'm going to lose the run of proxy because why wouldn't I? But I still end up getting the proxy, and it's at this point that I know that I'm going to have a good Marcadia.
I should hope so, Roman.
On Mission 3, I've been playing well.
I should fucking
on Mission 1, that's fine. Mission 2 is fine, although I have fucked it up a couple times on this day. So, like, I'm really only worried about Missions 2 and 3 here.
But see, guys, this is why it's actually kind of important to lose runs throughout a day. Like,
yo, what's up, Scrid? Thanks for the good luck, dude. Hopefully we'll be able to get a PB on this run. Watching a truly remarkable speed run. When I do the gamble, if I win, can I use that to request songs? Why the fuck not? Although technically I would be the one who'd have to request the songs. Yo, thank you, Stu. So Mission 1 went fine. I'm going to also remove the webcam so you guys can see what I'm looking at here on the radar. So Mission 2 stuff to look out for. So the position of the guys goes 1 on the right, 1 on the bottom left. So like if take for example, say for example center is right here. So when I refer to left and right, I mean in position to this. So the way the Mission 2 works is there's 1 guy on the right, there's 1 guy on the bottom left, there's 1 guy on the upper right, then there are 2 on the left, 1 more on the right. So, okay, hold on. Let me be more specific. 1 guy on the right, 1 on the bottom left, 1 on the upper right, 2 saucers on the left. Then it's 2 guys on the left. First there's a standard one, and then there's the one on the lower side that cuts through. And then there's 1 on the middle right, and then there's 2 more saucers, and then you charge forward, and there's 1 last one on the right. You only lose time if you miss ships 3, 6, and 7. So all the ones on the right, except for the first one. The first one is on the right, but it doesn't really matter. So you only lose time if you miss saucers 3, 6, and 7. Because everything else is on an auto cycle. you can miss it as many times as you want, and the next ship will still spawn. However, the way that it works is the next spot in the game only progresses once you've killed the dropship. So the set of saucers only spawn when you kill the ship directly preceding them. And then obviously at the very end, you have to kill the ship as soon as possible for the mission to end. So pay attention to that as you're watching this. So let me start this mission over again. So there's these two saucers.
And then fix it the next.
Then there's a ship on the right.
Like, a lot of people don't really necessarily think about that. They don't think about the mistakes they make.
Then a ship on the left, bottom.
They just kind of like look at the problem spots and focus on those. But there's always.
And then there's one in the top right. And then after you blow this one up, there's going to be the two saucer spawns. So this is the one that's actually important. And I still, like, even though it's the important one, you still have to do it on reaction. Like, if you're too afraid of it, like, if you're so afraid that you're moving the reticle, like, further to the right, so you give yourself more time to react, you're just playing suboptimally. So you have to put it right here and just react when the ship comes out.
So I think it's really important to kind of look at the bigger picture.
I threw out 2 plasma coils there just to be safe. Then there's one guy right here and one on the bottom left now. This one's easy to react to because you can see him. I don't know if you can see my mouse. I really don't know if you can or not. You can see him on the. I'm gonna call this tower the boob. You can see like a little tiny bit of him on the right, on the bottom corner, like by the right edge of the boob. You can see the ship. So you see him pop up on the radar. Oh, hold on. Wait, how come I couldn't see him?
On this good of a pace because...
Am I, like, crazy or something? What's happening here? Well, what the fuck is happening? What the fuck? Who just gifted subs? What the fuck? Avizo with the 10 gift subs. Jesus Christ, Avizo. Thank you so much, man. Holy fuck. Yo, guys, can I get some emote hype in the chat? For the love of God. Yo, thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate that a lot. You're a fucking homie. I agree, he is a Chad. Yo, in honor of Avizo, can I get some emote only in the chat from one of my mods? Can you set it to emote only for just a little bit? Oh, yeah, okay, you can like barely see him. You'll see like a boop. Yeah. Pay attention. Hold on, I'll try to get it. Did you see that? Look at the right side. You can see it just barely. Like a little tiny boot. There it is. Do you see it? Did you see the difference? Look, this is like the before and after, or like the two photos where you're trying to compare them. Look at the right side of the boob, the very bottom, like right just above this like line of shit. Look right over here. If I frame advance, you can't see anything, but now you can see the shit. Just barely, and that's what I'm reacting to. That's what I'm reacting to. I'm gonna do it back and forth so you can maybe see the ship easier if you don't have good eyesight. You see that? That's how I can see the ship. So I know when to expect it now. So let me... So it becomes easier to react to that shot. And then this shot, this isn't another important one. There's two saucers that spawn after this. So I blow up this one, and I blow up that one. And so, even though you can't see the first saucer, it spawns in the same spot every time. And then this is the 7th ship I charge out. And I blow it up, and I walk out. It's a good mission too overall. It's a good mission too. Leave emote only mode on until the end of Marcadia. I think that would be funny. I honestly think that would be a little funny. That way, if people want to talk, they gotta fucking, I don't know, use a channel points or some shit. I don't know. So all I'm thinking about on this mission 3 is, Jesus Christ, I'm gonna fuck this up. I know I'm gonna fuck this up. You can see how recklessly I play this. Like look how recklessly I'm playing. I'm being a fucking cool guy. I'm not looking at any of these explosions. I was so close to fucking this up. Look at this.
Make a mistake of some sort.
3 of these shots get eaten by the guy's invulnerability hit, like, part of his hitbox. And I still just fucking YOLO it anyway.
But no run is perfect, you know? At that point, I just have to keep reminding myself to just keep on going.
I think that third one's the only one that I don't like super Chad mode it. And this is actually the most impressive part of this mission 3. Look how seamlessly I go from shooting at the ship to killing the saucer right in front of me and going back to shooting the ship. So he goes behind Alinity's boob, so obviously I can't shoot him when he's behind Alinity's boob. So I have, like, a fraction of a second to shoot that saucer. And look at that, I'm just back on track. And every shot hits. That was fucking crazy.
This run's insane.
That was fucking crazy.
This run is absolutely fucking insane. I don't even know what else to say about it.
And that's a low, like a mid to high 48, which is obviously insane. Like, you can, even on the best ones, you can normally expect a 49. My gold is obscene. Like, I didn't miss a single shot in my gold. My gold is basically unbeatable. I mean, obviously not actually unbeatable, but, like, it's borderline unbeatable. But, so, like, to play within 1.5 seconds of gold there, I'm happy with that every single time.
It's just insane. 10 seconds.
Alright, so now...
I didn't even think this was possible.
Even though I always say that people should stop saying that this is an auto-scroller, I am gonna just skip through this part. Alright, so we're on mission 5 now. And this is pretty standard. I'll show you a couple of the problem spots that can happen.
Yo, what's going on, Tim? How you doing, man? Good to see you.
This part coming up here is by far the hardest part of mission 5. Is making sure that you charge at just such an angle, so you're going to end, again, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but right where Ratchet is right now, this is where you're going to end at the end of turning the bolt crank. So what you want to do, you want to charge at a very, very specific angle that you weave around all the stuff that you could bonk into on the right side of Ratchet, but you don't fall into this pool on the left side of Ratchet. It's kind of a specific angle.
If you guys think I got this...
And I just barely nail it. You can see I almost still bonk on the turret.
If you guys think I got this...
And normally there's a ranger there. I don't know why that ranger was out of the way, but obviously it worked out for my purposes because I didn't have to worry about bonking into him. And then from here on in, the rest of it is pretty standard.
There is... I'm not saying that this game is RNG. I'm not saying...
Killing Lombax is a really sick Zony emote.
But I am saying statistically, if I am to PB, it's gonna...
Again!
You know?
So this is a little slow. This is a little slow right here, but I kind of didn't get the angle I wanted. I could have taken this angle, but it would have been a little risky. So instead I just said, alright, I'll just take the 1 second time loss, I'll just even it out.
Like any PB...
So yeah, I lost like a little over 1 second, like maybe 1.2 seconds, but it's fine.
Play well, that's fine.
And that's just a gold. So like you can see, I don't lose a full second to my PB. I only lose 0.8.
13.04, absolutely fucking ridiculous. God, that's
okay, so you can turn off emote only mode. If you're gonna get sick of me saying how good this run is in this VOD, sorry. Hold on, let me bust out some hazelnut spread M&Ms while I'm watching this run. Yo, what's up, Scott? How you doing, man? Hazelnut spread M&Ms. The best flavor of M&Ms. Free. The best flavor. Well. How do I turn off emote only mode? Because my mods aren't doing it. Okay, there we go. Thank you, mods. Thank you, Twitch mods! It's me, Tim the Tat Man. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus Christ. I would not be who I am today. I would not be making $30,000 a day if it weren't for my Twitch mods moderating my chat. And I don't pay them a dime. Don't get me wrong. But as long as I say that they're heroes, they don't mind. They don't mind being taken advantage of as long as I say that they're heroes. No, honestly, I'm sure Tim the Tatman would pay his... I think honestly, if you have a chat of like 5-digit people or more, like, you have to pay your mods. There's just no reason for you not to, right? Like, if you expect your mods to be there for all your streams and you have 30,000 viewers, you damn well better be paying your mods. That's all I'm saying.
You know,
Paulo, I see you over there, dude.
This, like,
I saw you there, Paulo. You can't hide from me.
That's a very toxic mentality.
I hope you're doing well, you fucking sexy
toxic.
beast.
I'm not trying to say that like it's a bad thing to think about that. I am saying you can make yourself more nervous than you should be, though. I'm gonna view this as I've allowed my.
I'm gonna view this as me skipping this part right here because there's nothing of interest here. Okay, so at this point, literally, I do want to point out one thing though about what I was talking about. Like right now, I think it's very, very easy to start getting nervous because you know how far ahead you are. Like I think that's one of the most dangerous parts about speedrunning is when you're on a sick run. It's really easy to be like, wow, what if this is like the best run I ever have? Because the instant you start thinking that, you're just going to lose. Like, you're going to lose your entire run. So, I'm trying to do my best to focus on every individual planet. But obviously in the back of my brain, I'm thinking to myself, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, you know, it's hard not to. I actually think it's borderline impossible not to. But you just have to learn how to, like... You have to learn how to, like... beat it like you can't kill Gandhi because if you kill Gandhi then he'll just be a martyr for the cause of freeing India from Britannian rule, right? But like if the rest of my brain is the British Empire, at the very least I can just like throw him in jail or something. Like it doesn't matter, he won't be that much of a problem until later as long as I just throw him in jail right now, you know? I'm surprised you didn't hide splits. I think hiding splits is a bandage. I got lost in this analogy in like 2 seconds. Don't worry about it. It doesn't really make sense anyway.
We messed that up 2 runs in a row, and the 3rd run we finally get it.
So here I wasn't lying. I did fuck up. I did fuck up this planet on every other run except for this one. So that's just kind of good luck.
You gotta be fucking kidding me, man. This is so crazy. This is so crazy. 1552. This is insanity. If ever there were a run I would lose to Scrunchless, it would be this one.
I did genuinely believe I would lose this run to Scrunchless. I really did.
You guys heard me say it before, I'll say it again. In Up Your Arsenal, New Game Plus, No Quit Exploit, you're only as good as your last planet.
I say that a lot this run. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, but, you know, I think you guys get what I'm trying to say.
You're only as good as your last planet.
I do want to... What was I going to say? I was going to say something. Oh, well. So all this Clank movement is really standard. I can actually skip a lot of this. There's nothing of interest here, per se.
Keep yourself grounded. Keep yourself focused. Trust your angles.
Okay, I want to point out that I found, like, one time... Oh, you know what it was? It was the most recent Smash Summit. Leffen got really drunk after he lost, and he went on commentary and just started basically saying all this fucking like crazy shit he really shouldn't have been saying on live camera for tens of thousands of people. But one thing I thought that was really funny was that he says that the mental preparation that you need to play somebody like HBox is just like so much more involved than when he has to play anybody else. He has to like constantly remind himself, okay, you're gonna get cheesed. You're going to lose a lot of stocks to some stupid bullshit. You have to be okay with that. You just have to keep on playing. Like, he kept saying, like, he ran through his whole mental checklist of all the things he has to tell himself before he plays HBox. And, this is basically, like, my version of what Leffen is talking about. Like, you can hear me say it. Like, the 3 things that I have to tell myself before I do every Scrunchless on a good pace.
Keep yourself grounded. Keep yourself focused. Trust your angles.
Keep yourself grounded, keep yourself focused, trust your angles. Like, I don't know, I just thought it was funny.
Perfect.
And it's so funny, too. Like, it's so anticlimactic. if you don't know how hard Scrunchless is, to see me do Scrunchless and nail it almost every time, and be like, why the fuck does he even, like, why would he ever bitch about this? This looks so easy.
Perfect. Alright, we can lose this run to a lot of things. We're not losing it to Scrunch.
I'll show you. This line right here actually is 100% perfect. Like, if I hadn't adjusted it at all, I actually would have saved time. Because it's kind of hard to explain, but basically the two fastest ways to do Scrunchless, you can either do ledge grabless, which is obviously a little risky, and save 1 second, or you can make the fastest beeline possible to the ledge grab. And so the fastest way to get to the ledge grab is to barely hit the pole and then glide as... What the fuck? Jesus Christ. Stu the web guy. Oh my god, man. Thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. What a fucking homie. You guys have been crazy today already. Like, I've only been streaming for like 5 minutes, and you guys have been way too generous. I do appreciate it. Yeah, it's not hard to get... Like, if you practice Scrunchless for a couple of days, you can easily get it to a coin flip. Of, like, sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. But yeah, like what Musa said, the hard part is getting it 90% or more. Like, that is the hard part of Scrunchless, is, like, being able to get it almost every time. Nobody gets it 100% of the time. Nobody. It's impossible. It's just too specific of a trick to get every time. But yeah, so the two fastest ways to do Scrunchless, pardon me, like I was saying before Stu decided to be a fucking crazy homie, you can either get ledge grabless, and that's optimal, but really, really hard to do, or you can go to the ledge as quickly as possible, which is what this exact angle is good for. Like, this angle that I take right now, it's obviously, I could fall through the center, but the majority of the time on this exact line, I will get to the ledge optimally. However, I decide that I wanted to be 100% careful, and so I took a little teensy scooch on the ledge. Like, you can see, I get the angle, and then I scooch, and then I get to the ledge. So that loses approximately, you know, a fraction of a second to just getting to the ledge. It's less than a second, but I think it might be somewhere around a half second. I don't really know for sure. I mean, obviously I could just time it, but that's not the point of this VOD review.
Thank you for subscribing.
Yo, Azuma, thank you so much for the 8 months. Yo, thank you so much for that, dude. I really appreciate it. Zem, I must have absorbed some of your PB hype because I just PB'd today. What category did you PB in? Congratulations all the same. Yeah, I got this PB 2 days ago. You missed it, Designer, but that's why I'm reviewing it.
Alright, we can lose this run to a lot of things. We're not losing it to Scrunch.
I will say the most hilarious thing, and this does happen to every runner at some point. This I guarantee you, if you ever run this game, this will happen to you. Eventually, you will get Scrunchless in a run, and then miss this jump right after. Everybody does it. I don't know anybody who hasn't done it. Everybody eventually gets Scrunchless and then fails this jump. It just happens.
Not losing it to Scrunchless.
Yeah, I don't really go for ledge grabless and runs. That's kind of why. It's by design, Nick.
Let's go, dude. Or no, it's not come on. It's go on then. That's what the iron.
Yo, what's up, Franz? How you doing? And hey, person. Hope you boys are doing well today. Is that jump hard? It's honestly quite easy, but it's also like just hard enough that it's possible to miss like once out of every 100 tries or something once you get comfortable with it.
Should be good. Good. Got the insta drop and everything. All right, I am gonna play this a little tiny bit safe. I normally don't like doing this, but I've been fucking this up a lot today, and if I fuck this up, this is a bad mistake to make. So I am gonna kill these guys.
So mathematically, let me tell you where I decided to make this decision.
This is a bad mistake to make.
So
I am gonna kill
the decision I made was that I would take 1 second to jump here, shoot the rhino, and turn around, as opposed to just turning around and swapping weapons and leaving the guys alone. Shooting the guys is 100% safe. However, it does lose 1 second, like I said. Rumble, I'm sorry that shift fucked your wife. So, basically, I had lost 10 seconds. Mathematically, let me tell you how it's easy to come to this decision. I had lost 10 seconds per run, every run that I got in here today. And so, by not killing those guys. And so by losing 1 second to save 10 seconds on any given day where I'm not hitting this trick, like, you know, with a ridiculous degree of consistency, I mean, the math just speaks for itself. There was no reason for me not to do this today. Although, obviously, in hindsight, you could say something like, well, you hit it perfectly after this, so, like, you should have just trusted yourself. That's not necessarily 100% how it works. There's a lot that plays into it. So I don't regret this decision to kill the guys here. Because look at this. The rest of this just goes beautifully.
And, of course, I get the proxy perfectly.
The rest of this just goes... That's literally perfect.
I still fuck with it.
There's not much you can do to save more time there.
Oh my god, this is insane, man.
Yo, thank you, Zyner. I appreciate it, man.
9.3 seconds ahead of best pace ever. This is so insane.
I saw Franz. I was watching you. I was watching you a little bit. I hate derusting this game. There's a lot of bullshit in this game when you're derusting.
Wow.
There's a lot of bullshit. Yo, what's up, Jesse? So at this point, obviously, I'm not going for triple charge on this kind of a run, but from here on in, I will be going for triple charge on these kinds of runs. What's kind of nice is that because of the 2 mistakes that I made on Metropolis and Command Center in this run, I do have 8 seconds of time save in the late game. So even if I'm 15 seconds behind coming into this split, if I hit triple charge, that puts me at even. So it's very likely I'll be 15 seconds behind on any given run. So it actually makes it a lot easier to PB, although the quality of the run itself will obviously be worse overall. But it's not about the quality of the run, it's about what's faster, right? So that's what's kind of nice about triple charge, is that it always gives you that little glimmer of hope. Until, of course, I get a PB with triple charge in it, and then it's game over. I just have to... then that glimmer of hope just doesn't exist anymore.
I almost swapped to the whip right there, by the way. I almost, like, muscle memory my way into it.
So at this point,
now I'm starting to get a little bit nervous.
I was actually really worried about the clip, because I hadn't practiced the clip the past couple of days.
Plenty of things I can lose this run to.
I've been so worried about practicing triple charge that I didn't practice this clip. And you can see, I took a relatively unreliable position. So normally, I like to go a little bit further to the left because I find it's easier to clip out, right? Like if I'm right here as opposed to right here. But I decided, fuck it, I have to just go with wherever I'm at. So I went right there and just went for it, and the clip worked perfectly. I felt like that was actually very lucky.
Sub 28, and I'm gonna sub. It's gonna be hard to sub 28. In fact, I think it's gonna be damn near impossible. But you never know. I've said crazy.
Yeah, I'm going for triple charge from now on, Persona.
I've done crazier things in my life.
I know, it's crazy, Nick. It's absolutely insane. It's insane to think that by the end of this planet, I'm still on 27 best possible time. Insane. I agree, Izaki.
Went for death swag because why the fuck not?
And this is where Philip Hemmer donates $5 for good luck. Is the 3 frame perfect things?
Thank you so much for the $5.
It's 2 frame perfect tricks in a row.
Wow. Okay, we've gotten through the hardest parts of the mid game. Now it's all end game.
Zan, would you say? Wait, did you ask me that? You asked me that during the run, right, Xantho? Hold on.
Went for death.
I forget where you asked me that, but I know you asked me that exact same question during this run.
Thank you.
I don't know if I'm necessarily better than I was. Like, I think there's a large part of this run that is luck. Like, I think I just happened to play really well in all these different spots. And obviously there's a lot more time save than there was. Like, I've already lowered my sum of bests by 7 seconds. But I still PB'd by 10 seconds despite only having 7 seconds of time save. So I guess at this point I'm technically better, but I think my peak is better than it was when I stopped 11 months ago. I don't think my consistency is as good. I think my consistency is much better then than it is now, but obviously I can fix that. Let's ask Zem. What the fuck is this?
How about we donate a lot of money to Zem and ask him to sing the high note for Take On Me? Maybe he'll do it.
I mean, tell Jace. Hold on, wait, click this. Jace, I can just do it for free. All you gotta do is ask. Where was I? I was right here. Okay. I fucking love Jace.
Thank you so much for the $5. I really appreciate that. Wow, okay, we've gotten through the hardest parts of the mid-game. Now it's all end-game.
Dude, that's insane.
Now
Can you believe that I got through all the hardest parts of the mid-game?
1 second to sum of bests per minute.
Yo, what's up? You get your old man coffee bullshit out of here. I don't even want to hear it. Dude, the amount of times I got 3-outed by you yesterday was unfucking real.
I had to fly a little bit longer.
Nah, dude, that was actually a lot of fun. I'm glad you got to embody your old man coffee self. I think it's so funny that I'm basically a melee old man coffee and you're a poker old man coffee.
Okay. This is a hard planet. Play to your level. It will be fine.
Hey, Foggin.
Just play to your levels, then. Don't worry about doing anything crazy.
Again, this is the Leffen about to face H-box mentality right here. There's a lot of bullshit that can happen on Metropolis. There's so much bullshit. You can miss the proxy. You can fuck up the hyperstrike and lose the run on the whip jump. You can fuck up entry to Clunk somehow. Who would ever mess up entry to Clunk, though? I don't know, man. You tell me. You can mess up the backtrack. You can mess up the proxy. You can mess up everything. There's so much shit. This is a top 3 difficulty planet in the entire run.
Just play to your level.
But first, you have to get past interactive graphic novel bypass 2.
So I can easily lose the run to any planet.
I hit the frame perfect there. Now, obviously, not all frame perfects are created equal. This is a frame perfect trick. It's just a very easy frame perfect trick. So let me tell you the 2 types of frame perfect tricks. There's the ones that are actually hard, where you have to hit a specific button at exactly 1 frame. For example, Draco Triple Charge or Nuke Storage. And then there's this kind of frame perfect trick, which is literally just you press 2 buttons on the same frame. And for some reason, there's a lot of people who have a lot of tricks and a lot of different speed games that have that as a quote-unquote frame perfect thing, and they say over and over, this is a frame perfect trick, even though it's the easiest fucking thing in the entire world.
So I can easily lose the run to any planet from here on in. There are some planets I feel much more confident about than others, but literally every single planet is run-loss worthy.
Alright, so here we go. And this is the biggest mistake in the entire run happens right here. So this is standard. This is all fine and dandy. I'm a little sad right there because I wanted to hyperstrike over the ledge. You can kind of see it on my face that I was looking for. I thought I had the right distance to hyperstrike over the ledge. Look at my face here. You see like a wince, like a slight wince of pain. Like a tiny half-second wince. And then I blink and I just get over it. I'm like, okay, I gotta focus on this. This is so easy to fuck up right here. And especially, look how reckless my angle was. I didn't adjust the camera at all. I just fucking went for it. And then I stopped paying attention for a half second. And you know why? Because this has literally never happened to me or anyone I've ever watched. This is just the weirdest fucking thing. This is the weirdest fucking thing. That's the only way I can explain it. Somehow I lost all my momentum right here, and I think it was a y-axis thing. I think it was because I was a little too close to the ledge that it didn't store my momentum over the ledge and instead cut all my momentum from underneath.
Holy shit, that was way too close.
And let me tell you, when you like snap back to reality and you see this exact position, do you know what's going through my head? Me neither. There's 8 lines of thought happening at the same time. There's the line of thought that says, what the fuck is happening? There's a line that says, how did I get to this spot? There's a line that says, how do I save this? There's a line that says, can I even save this? There's a line of my thought that's crushed because now I've just killed the best run I've ever been on. And then, above all of that, there is a layer of screaming. That's everything I felt in these 3 seconds. But, thankfully, I knew enough about this game from watching Scott's all-titanium bolts runs, believe it or not. This is how I know about this. Otherwise, I may have just resigned myself to defeat. In about 1.5 seconds after this, like, you know, it's like the Big Bang. The Big Bang happens, and then 1.5 seconds later, the entire universe is formed, right? But there's a lot of shit that happens in that first 1.5 seconds. There's a lot that happens in the first 1.5 seconds of my brain, and then literally all the lines converge into one moment where they all say, wait a minute, I know how to save this. And thankfully, the cutscene trigger is not y-axis dependent. Thankfully, you can activate the cutscene trigger from below.
No! What is happening? What is happening? Okay, okay.
So let's watch it all again.
Holy shit, that was way too close. No! What is happening? What is happening? Okay, okay. Oh! Whoa, 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 whoa there, Tiger.
And then watch, this is my favorite part of watching this VOD. Watch how much the chat erupts after this happens.
Whoa there. That was just my life.
I guess that's not really an eruption. I mean, eruption implies something a little bit more violent, but yeah, you know. Yeah, watch it again in real time. I want you guys to watch my face. Yeah, not even close. Here, watch me one more time.
Holy shit, that was way too close. No! What is happening? What is happening? Okay, okay. Oh!
And then at this point, I'm just like, all right, I can't even worry about it. I literally can't worry about it.
Way too close. No! What is happening? What is happening?
So at this point, I'm thinking that I've already lost. After I realize that I'm fine, my brain kind of processes what just happened. I lost 4 seconds. I can keep going. It's no biggie.
Okay, okay. Oh! Whoa, 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 whoa there, Tiger. Whoa there. That was just my life.
And here comes Sneepy's reaction. Not even close, dude. Not even fucking close.
Alright, hey all you cool cats and kittens. This is a decently paced run.
Reminder, Carol Baskin killed her husband and fed him to tigers.
I may say so myself. Basically, everything went wrong and I didn't even lose time. That's how nice that is. Yeah, that was a bit of a butt clencher.
One you last completed, Zimmerog. How am I supposed to watch Jeeves Exotic now that I know that? That's not Loader, that's literally not even a spoiler. That's literally not even a... That's like a drop in the bucket.
Yo, what's going on, Busker?
And it's a fucking large bucket. It can hold at least 5 or 6 big shits in it.
Just to keep myself grounded and focused. So don't mind me if I get a little...
Wait. Hold on. I want to backtrack one more time.
Was way too close.
Me teaching my kids how to pog.
Alright. Part of your brain.
Okay, so it doesn't really matter. You already know what to expect out of... Wait, I skipped Crash Site. Okay.
So don't mind me if I get a little...
if I had lost this run to crash site somehow, I would have screamed. This is the easiest planet in the entire endgame. If I'd fucked this up, I would have just lost my entire shit. I would have lost all of it at once.
Okay.
Ugh. Oh yeah, I forgot I golded.
Really?
This didn't feel like a gold worthy crash site, but I'm glad I finally got one because I haven't golded crash sites since coming back, so that felt good.
Okay.
Any advice for keeping your cool on pace? Sippy, the only way that I have learned how to keep my cool on when I'm on pace is just like I try to do everything I can to focus on just whatever I have to do next. And I have to remind myself, like, every 5 seconds that it's okay if I fuck up the run. You know, like, I just try to remind myself that at the end of the day, I'm not a failure of a human being if I choke the run. And it used to not be that way. I used to get way too invested if I choked a run. But now if I choke a run, I'm just like, alright, whatever it is. So that's kind of how I do it. But I'm sure other people have their own methods that are fine too.
How much was that a gold buy? Huh.
Yeah, it's probably partly because of that, Scott. That's what I was hoping for. Oh, wait. I want to show out one other Easter egg. I'm going to up the volume all the way up. I want you to listen at the very end of when Hungrybox screams.
Okay. Really?
There's you can hear, right after I say really, you hear one of the commentators just go, what?
Really?
That's a little Easter egg, is the commentator that hears Hungrybox scream, yes, fucking fuck, and then just goes, what? As if he couldn't have said anything dumber in that moment.
How much was that a gold buy? Huh. Tied gold.
Also, Sippy, I think it's really important to remember that, like, I know I say this all the time, but it really is true that if you can do something once, you can absolutely do it again.
Let me tell you the dangerous mentality of this position.
Yeah, Sam, let me hear the dangerous mentality of this position. Actually, I will let this run because this is actually kind of important to keep in mind.
So many parts of my brain right now that are saying, holy shit, what if this is the run? And you have to ignore that part of your brain.
Like literally, anytime you're on a pace this good, you will think to yourself, holy shit, what if this is the run that kills the category? And, like, if you ever start thinking that and taking it seriously, you will lose the run. Like, without fail. Like, I can't tell you the amount of times that I've fallen into that trap. I've done it a countless number of times. Like, I've done it multiple times this year already. That happened during my wrench only run where I lost a minute on Yeetle.
Oh, thank you for subscribing.
Like, you cannot even think about it. You can't. You have to, like, you can acknowledge that your brain is thinking about it, but you have to just not allow it to become an important part of what you're thinking. You have to just move on. You have to. Yo, Cuppy, thank you for the 19 months, dude. I really appreciate that. And then I hit shit 50 RNG. Fuck you, frauds. Oh my god. Oh my god. He's like, no, I'm serious. When you say kill the category, I don't actually mean kill the category, but I just mean, like, whenever you're on a ridiculously paced run, like, there is a part of your brain that eventually thinks, like, what if this is, like, gonna be my best run, you know? When are you sweeing Google Snake, please? I will once Yarmaplay dies, and then the Google Snake god is finally dead, and I can, the rest of us can run in peace. Are you holding poker chips? No, I'm holding bottle caps of all the alcohol that I've drunk over the past 2 days, because I'm an alcoholic now. Quarantine has turned me into a casual alcoholic. Shouldn't that make you feel good about it? The run's not over yet, Quarkuno. That's the dangerous part. The run's not over.
As much as possible. You have to just focus on whatever.
So at this point, Sneepy noticed this, but he was the only one who pointed it out. I'm sure maybe a couple of other people noticed this. Look how close this neutral long jump is to failing at the beginning. Just look how close it is. This is another one of those moments where, like, if I had just done a tiny bit worse, I would have lost the run. Look how fucking close that is. Shit angle. Like, it's, if I were a few more pixels to the right on this charge, I would have bonked into this wall right here. I just barely get around it, and I just barely make it on this hyper strike. And my brain, you can't see it on my face because I'm trying to suppress all of my, like, 100% of my emotions. But my brain in that moment, like somebody lit a fire, like lit my brain on fire, and then I very quickly extinguished it, and then somebody lit my brain on fire again, and I was like, psst. And then I just, like, my brain said to itself, do I have to keep doing this all day? Like, come on. Do I really have to put out this many fires right now of all times?
Invisible wall could happen here. Okay, but it didn't.
I intentionally took a more left angle on this falling neutral long jump so I could avoid the invisible wall. So for those of you who don't know, there's an invisible wall right here. It's like, if I have to like draw it out, it's like basically like, I think you can see my mouse, but it's like kind of a straight line from here to here. Like, that's not the best visual representation. It's probably more like that. But that being said, the reason it's important on this backtrack is because it's possible to jump at such an angle that you just get completely stuck in the invisible wall and you lose all of your momentum and thus lose 5 seconds. So I took a more left angle that wouldn't get me directly to the ship just so I could intentionally avoid the invisible wall.
Okay, but it didn't.
And you can even see Ratchet's body jostle against it right here. Like, you see how the camera shakes a little bit? That's him going through the invisible wall.
Could happen here. Okay, but it didn't.
So I lost a little bit of time there, but that's fine. And at this point, I honestly wasn't even nervous for Instaclip. Why is the man at the bottom right now? I already had enough of the top left man. What can I say, dude? What can I say? That man is... I heard that man's an absolute treehard.
Alright, my Instaclips have been pretty good lately, but if I fuck up, that's fine.
At this point, I actually meant that. Like, if I fucked up Instaclip, I could still PB, so I wasn't, like, super worried about it.
This is unbelievable.
And you know what I'm thinking at this moment? I'm thinking, damn, it's such a good thing I spliced this run.
Okay. 2 hardest planets in the run, back to back, coming up.
Yo, Tyrant, thank you so much for gifting a sub, dude. I appreciate that.
This proxy and this whip jump are evil. They're evil, evil, evil. They're evil.
It's a Rack 2 time again? No, I want to get sub 28, and then I'll move on to Rack 2. Or, well, and then I'll do ATB, and then I'll move on to Rack 2.
My heart is pounding.
My heartbeat, I actually wasn't nervous at all before Koros, but right after, as I got to Koros, my heartbeat, like, doubled. And then when I got to Command Center, my heartbeat, like, tripled. Like, my heart is just like, dunk, 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 the entire way of Command Center.
I don't think I'm...
Yeah, dude, now we're on Perkele.
I don't want to do setup with the triggers. I really don't. I don't want to do anything. I just want to do the standard way. But I think I have to, right?
I'm not a cool streamer, Franz. I'm not.
Guys. Scared money don't make money.
Can I recommend a strategy? Please do, Izaki. As long as it's not buying a PS Vita. So, everything that happens in this command center, so like...
Don't make money, guys.
My command centers have been actually kind of nice.
But I think I have to,
lately.
right?
Like, I haven't messed them up in
Scared
runs.
money don't make money, guys. Scared money don't make money.
Although this proxy did get a little close. Actually, no, that's fine. That was a fine proxy. And then I want to point out that right here, I actually did have the intention of going for setup whip the trigger. Like, I was trying to set it up, but I recognized from my practice that the angle that I was going at was just, like, statistically not likely to make it. It would have been one of those positions where I would have made the whip jump, but I may not have had enough distance to be able to hyper strike into the cutscene trigger. So that's why I derail the angle here. And I know that I can do this because my PB's command center is 4 seconds slower than my sum of best. Or than my best segment. So, like, I know I have that time to do that.
I haven't been... I knew it. I knew it would come down to this. I was saying to myself, I haven't been doing...
So this is technically a mistake, but the way that I reacted to it, like, saved the run. Like, it's so easy to lose a run in this exact spot if you're not careful.
Go well on this today. Let's see how we do. Actually, no. I'm just gonna...
That angle may have been fine. Like, the more I look at it...
Actually, no. I'm just gonna...
But it's still a little risky. Like... There's from this exact position. Let me tell you all the things that can go wrong here. So from this exact angle, this is actually such a hard angle to work with. Okay, let's try to stop canceling shot cannon at the end of Koros, and you will never hardlock on a good pace. You're welcome. Okay, I'll take your word for it. Yeah, that's the primary concern that I have here, Scott. So with the angle that I normally take, first off, I have to react to this being a much more shallow angle than I'm used to. And so oftentimes what's going to happen if I hold up my controller, you can see the angle I normally take is like, as I make that whip, I kind of go upright. Or, yeah, I kind of make like a directly like northeast angle on my analog stick. Exactly upright. If I were to do exactly upright from this exact position, I would be just a little too far right and I would have died. It's possible, like the angle that I would have needed to make this work is so specific that it's just so hard to do under pressure. Like, it's so hard to do this under pressure because if I'm a little too far to the left, I lose the run. If I'm a little bit too far to the right, I lose the run. If I don't have a good enough whip jump because I'm trying, like, what the other line that can happen is I get the exact right angle, but I'm so focused on getting the angle that I don't think about my whip jump timing, and so I get a worse whip jump than I would need, and I don't get enough distance, and I try to hyper strike into the cutscene trigger, and then I just die. So there were so many ways from this exact spot that you can die. If my body, if Ratchet's body is like, I don't think you can see my mouse, but you see how he's slightly curved to the right? If in this exact position, he's looking straight ahead, I'm 100% confident I can hit this angle every time. But because of this, like, slight deviation to the right, my brain tried to pick up on the visual pattern as fast as it could, and it recognized that I had a low chance of succeeding at this, so it just, like, my brain just, like, auto-muscle memoried me to go to the right instead. Yeah, it's true. You can just go for whatever angle you want because you have the tier guys. But, like, I'm fine with it, because, like I said, I have time to work with.
No, I'm just gonna... That was not a good angle. That was a terrible fucking angle.
And I still kept even with PB, so, that's fine.
Terrible angle. I would have missed every time. I had to recover that.
And at this point, I'm not really thinking about choking. Like, obviously, I'm not thinking about choking because I don't want to choke. But I felt 100% confident in my ability to do this. Like, I haven't fucked up Nefarious in God knows how long. If ever there were a run I would fuck up Nefarious, it would be this. But, like, again, I'm not really super worried about it.
Terrible angle. That is kind of a shame that, but, like, I had the intention of going for it, so I can't be sad about that. Alright, Mythical Cat, how many long loads?
I knew that Mythical Cat was keeping track of my long loads, too. But yeah, this fight is just fine. Mythical Cat says 14, I believe him.
Tap it in.
And I double-checked it, and it is 14. So he proved himself correct once again. Let me tell you one little thing that happens here. You can see the camera shifts to the right.
Tap it in.
The camera auto locks onto Nefarious as he does this attack if you're holding strafe. And I forgot about that. But the only way the easiest way to fix that is just to let go of strafe and just hit the right analog stick, and you have complete control over the camera again.
Too fast. Don't get too crazy here. Remember, you cannot over damage him. You have to play it safe.
And honestly, even though I only threw down 3 turrets here, it really doesn't matter that much. What actually is more important than the number of turrets you throw is the amount of Rhino bombs you have to do. Because a lot of that's just kind of luck-based. Or maybe there is a right timing for it, but I don't really know what the timing is. Like, I don't know anybody who does know how to get consistent 4 drops. Or 4 bombs. 4 is perfect, 5 is average, 6 is bad. So I get 5 here, and I'm just like, all right, whatever, that's average. I would have wanted 4, obviously, but I'll take 5. 3, 4, 5. I think the only way to really guarantee that you do more damage than you do in other situations is just to wait until right as the nitro launcher is exploding and then fire the Rhino. But that's literally the only thing that I know how to do. I don't know how to make it more consistent than that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And then I end the run.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
And then
I cannot fucking believe it.
I know people kind of probably wanted like a really wild pop off, but like I was just fucking floored by it. Like I had no room for a pop off in my entire body. Like they're like when you're on this kind of a pace, there's just like no room for a pop off in my brain. For all the shit, like I feel like I went through like 12 hours of life in 30 minutes, you know? Like I feel like so much happened to me over the course of this run. Like it was such an emotionally exhaustive run that I just didn't have a pop off in me. Yeah. That's exactly what it is, Persona. It was just disbelief. And thank you for the 200 bits, Stu. I do appreciate that, homie. Then you proceed to go to the bathroom. Yeah, I mean, you know. I do have more flubber I can chug, if anybody wants to see me chug some flubber. Yeah, brain was poopy at this point. I just wanted to be as drunk as possible, as quickly as possible. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that run. I'm sorry I didn't do this on the day, but I was too busy, you know, lying down in my bathroom trying not to puke my guts out after drinking 2 drinks, because I'm a fucking lightweight and a half. Well then, Zem, hit the bomber's peak. That's what I'm gonna try to do, my friends. Ooh. That run made you age 3 years. Maybe it did, dude. You know, it's like Lennon once said, there's decades where nothing happens, and then there's weeks where decades happen. And I think this run was like a week in and of itself to me, you know? I feel like I experienced a week, like I shaved off a week of my life to get this run. And now I have to beat it. Yeah, I know, that's the classic Sneepy. That's the Zem right there. That is the Zem.